The Moonlight Greatsword is one of the most iconic weapons in gaming history. It first appeared in FromSoftware's debut game Kingsfield in 1995, and most recently appeared in their 2022 open-world RPG Elden Ring. It is an incandescent blade made from pure moonlight that connects the many worlds created by FromSoftware. But what a lot of fans don't know is that there is another legendary object that unites the FromSoftware universe.
Hello everybody. To anyone who's just joining us, The Snack Covenant is a podcast dedicated to going so in-depth it uncovers information other podcasts are afraid to. This level of analysis is only possible because Finn is a research assistant and Sophie is a doctor. However, despite being a doctor, Sophie was talking into the wrong microphone during this entire recording, so it doesn't sound very good. In fact, it sounds a lot like when they first started the podcast in 2018, so you can consider it a demake. And now, on with the podcast.
Hi Sophie!
Hi, Sin.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Snack Covenant episode 295. Sophie, I got some great news. Glock and SpyromancyAcademy.com has sponsored us to make a Bloodborne episode.
Oh my god, this is so exciting. Because we've been doing those F-series episodes that get really deep into it, so I'm assuming that they want us to do something like that. Because I have a lot to say about all the different themes and everything that are in Bloodborne, so I'm really excited to be here.
That's terrific, because they asked us to do the wooden shield. I normally come up with outlines for these episodes, but I've been a little busy.
Well, see, I noticed you've streamed for about 16 hours total on the channel lately. And I haven't watched it, but I'm assuming it's all Elden Ring. Obviously it's that and not, say, you're playing a horror game from 10 years ago.
Welcome everyone to Outlast stream number 42. Today we attempt the world's first Outlast lore-through speedrun. So long story short, I didn't have time to do a proper outline.
That's fine.
But that's okay, Sophie, because we already have an outline prepared that we use for Enemies of Bloodborne.
We still have Enemies of Bloodborne to do. There's 7 that we haven't covered. Guess she'll use the equipment outline for those. Makes it up a little. How do you upgrade the large huntsman? How many gem slots does it have? Looking forward to that.
I form the light and create darkness. I bring prosperity and create disaster. I do all these things.
But there's a lot of things you probably don't know I do. Hi, I'm the Angelic Outline, and with no restraint on spoilers, here's my top 10.
Let's start with what?
Alright.
What is the appearance of the wooden shield?
The wooden shield is 3 planks of wood that are crudely stuck together with a piece of metal. And I assume there's some sort of strap on the other side that lets you hold it.
You're assuming?
Yeah.
Well, we're a scientific podcast, so...
That's true.
Late at night, I think of you, your vision floods my mind.
What objects do you think they used to make the wooden shield?
You know, it doesn't actually say on the description that it's made of wood. It just says wooden shield.
So it could be plastic that's dyed like wood.
It could also be resin that's painted to look like wood.
Mm-hmm.
It could be wood.
Mm-hmm.
Fiberglass.
That's right.
It can absorb quite a bit of damage, so it's possible that, it's reinforced with things. I'm assuming there's, nails inside. There's what looks like a metal sort of brace on the front that connects the pieces together.
What do you think that's made of?
Metal.
Where did they get that metal?
I showed this off one time when I had the old Yarnum map that I moved around. That had what looks like a foundry in it. You saw it had no textures, so I don't know what anything was supposed to be. But it had what looked like big smokestacks, and it had they looked like furnaces inside. That being said, you can probably turn blood into metal in Bloodborne's universe.
Yeah, that's true. Now, Sophie, the wooden shields we find around Yarden, are they all sort of broken?
The wooden shields are in terrible condition, and I think part of that's probably the humidity around Yharnam.
Mhm.
Very, very rainy place. If you don't treat that wood, it's going to warp.
Well, Sophie, I contacted someone and asked them to restore a wooden shield for us so we could witness it in its full glory.
Amazing.
Teeny tiny coffee bean
Oh my
made this.
god! So I am looking at a very, very nice, we'll say like reconstruction of what the wooden shield would look like if it were in better condition.
Yeah,
Yeah. This is beautiful.
it's amazing.
It's so straight, it's so uniform.
And it doesn't look like this is an imitation shield. It looks
No.
like somebody took a shield and restored it.
I feel like you should be able to upgrade the wooden shield into this.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, if you get like the soul of Lawrence and a plus 10 wooden shield and you combine them, you get the restored wooden shield. And that can block the attacks of the ghosts in New Londo.
Thank you, Sophie. Let's move on to the next point.
Alright.
Can you please tell me the shield's consistency?
Well, it says it's a crude wooden shield, so its consistency is crudity. The wooden shield is actually it's kind of okay at blocking gun attacks. So if you're fighting Dura or Dura's companion, wooden shield's quite useful there.
So when you said its consistency is crudity, were you going for a double entendre?
Why no, Sin?
I just sent you a link. Please describe what you're seeing.
Sin has sent me a link to the zesty and fresh food blog Love and Lemons. And that mentions a crudité platter. And it says, move over grocery store veggie tray. Here's the ultimate crudité platter for any party. Full of sweet and savory components. It's a delicious appetizer.
And it's served on a wooden shield.
It is served on a wooden shield.
Whoa, it's all coming together. The next question is, what does the shield eat?
Well, let's think about this. On a certain level, you could say it eats damage.
Oh my God.
Because if you have the shield up and something hits you, part of the damage is eaten by the shield. I wonder what this used to be, like a barrel.
Could be a barrel, maybe a door.
If we accept that Dark Souls and Bloodborne take place in the same universe, and they take place in release order,
Mm-hmm.
then the development of wooden shields would go the plank shield from Dark Souls, then the wooden shield from Bloodborne, which is a slight step up from the plank shield, I think, then the giant door from Dark Souls 3. So clearly they looked at the way that the wooden shield improved over the plank shield, and they realized it was the addition of the metal strips, and that someone said it looked a bit like hinges on a door. And then by the time of the Ringed City, when all lands converge into one at the end of time, it finally dawned upon them, just use an actual door.
It finally doored upon them?
I don't know if that part works really.
Sophie,
Yeah.
people oftentimes ask us when we're going to do an episode that connects all of the Soulsborne universes together.
We just did it.
Now, Sophie,
Yes.
the last question in the what section is, what are their hobbies and pastimes?
Right, so we can do this. So the wooden shield is found on the corpse of a Yharnamite hunter, and that hunter is outside one of the gates that leads to where Vicar Amelia is. And there's two church servants nearby, and I think the implication is that that guy was trying to break into Cathedral Ward and the church servants killed him.
Now, Sophie, I'm going to have to stop you right there.
Has Lance data mined something else? Restored wooden shield NPC dialogue. Was also voiced by Lucy Briggs Owen.
Now, Sophie, let me ask you a question that
Mhm.
you, and the cultists will know the answer to.
Certainly.
What is a giant we meet in Bloodborne is most notably known for?
Is it the one that's a portable stove?
No,
Is it the one that runs a coffee cart?
no.
I think you've come up with a giant headcanon that's extremely complicated. And the problem is it's so complicated that you have forgotten large chunks of it. So when you say to me, so we all know why the giant's there. I mean, this is the same universe where, like, there's a snatcher whose name is Jennifer. And she goes to the giant's coffee cart every day. It's okay because he knows her order.
If you're a cultist and you know which giant I'm talking about, leave a comment below.
I don't even know what giant you're talking about.
The one that's on the scholarship.
Oh, the one on the football scholarship. How could I forget?
That one.
What does this have to do with him? His hands are on fire. Wooden shield is the worst possible thing for him.
Now, Sophie,
Yes.
is there any evidence that giants like sports?
So as a Bloodborne expert, let's run through the giants in that area. So most of the ones in that area have axes. Could maybe work as like a baseball bat, cricket bat.
Because we know that in Reborn, when Yamamoto swings his bat really, really hard, it turns into a sword.
Are you a Katekyo Hitman Reborn superfan? Do you wish that people were still talking about it? Well, good news! Because here at the Snack Covenant, they won't shut up about it.
Interesting use of they.
Check out their 5-hour analysis of an anime nobody else cares about.
Including me.
Brought to you by Glocken's PyromancyAcademy.com.
So when it's dark, all the giants go to sleep. They know they have to be rested, it's time out. There's also a giant with a ball and chain that is guarding the other entrance to Cathedral Ward, shot put.
Yeah?
And then there's the ones in the Chalice dungeons that have the big, like, tumors and the big, like, muscles and the big arms, right?
Mm-hmm.
HGH.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. So we have evidence that giants like sports.
I'd say it's a certainty. And if you'll recall the episode that introduced us to the concept of Jennifer the Snatcher at the coffee stand, the purpose of the area under Yosefka's clinic is in fact a bowling alley.
Oh my god, yes!
Yes.
So Sophie, how many giants total do we have hanging around the cathedral?
Depending on your definition of hanging around, it can shift, but I'm going to say that there's 4.
Now think of the cathedral. The inside of it is pretty big.
That's true.
And it shields you from wind.
It's a real problem in Yharnam wind. What's any weather issues around Yharnam? It's like, well, sometimes the moon goes red and everyone turns into a werewolf. But you really got to worry about the wind.
So Sophie,
Mm-hmm.
the inside of the cathedral
Yeah.
is perfect to put... That's right, a ping pong table.
I couldn't tell if you were prompting me or you'd actually forgotten what you were saying. You just ran directly forward. A ping pong table.
A ping pong table.
Right.
Now the giants are pretty big.
They certainly are. They're giant.
They wouldn't be able to use regular-sized ping pong rackets. They would use a wooden...
Oh, a wooden shield.
And since there's 4 of them...
Oh, that's suicide.
Yeah, that's 2 aside.
Wow.
Yes.
Well,
We solved it.
who needs Redgrave? Like how the show is so awkward that the musical stings need their own stings.
Where is the wooden shield now?
It's on a corpse outside the gate leading to Vicar Amelia.
No, Sophie. That's where they were.
Oh.
We pick them up.
Hmm.
So let me rephrase this question. Where do you think the wooden shield ends up when we complete the game?
There's 3 answers to that, because there's 3 different endings. So, in the Yharnam Sunrise ending, we wake up, we still have all the stuff that we had in the dream. Presumably, it stays with us. We're doomed to forever wander the city of Yharnam, but we've got our trusty wooden shield. It'd be very good if we have to fight Dura again, who will inexplicably be alive again.
Or if we want a snack,
If you
we
want to
can
snack
use
a
it for our
platter.
coup d'etat.
Yep. Sure, you could maybe use it as like a toboggan. Like in Death Stranding, you just lay it down, you just sit on it and like scoot down. Maybe this can be in Bloodborne card.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
In the ending where we become Gurman, then it would remain with us in the Hunter's Dream. So the next time someone tries to fight us, they would have to contend with us having the wooden shield, potentially making us harder to parry. It will be the cause of lots of people typing like, "Wooden shield is so cheesy. How do I parry?" The trick is, of course, to stay approximately 5 meters from us.
Real cultists will understand this one.
Late at night, I think of you. Your vision floods my mind.
And in the childhood's beginning ending, right, we don't find like our hunter clothing lying around. We don't find our hunter gear lying around. So clearly it's been absorbed into the body of the new Great One. And that is possibly why the wooden shield is so powerful. Because when our Great One, in the great cycle of being, is killed, the wooden shield comes out again. So we can figure out exactly how many cycles there have been by counting the number of wooden shields that we find in the game. And that's the canonical lore reason for the wooden shield respawning if you play the game again.
Thank you, Sophie. Now, let's move on to why. Please classify the wooden shield into one of the following categories: outsider, Yarnamite, bourgeoisie, beast, kin, great one.
Well, we established that the wooden shield is expelled from the body of a Great One when it dies. It itself is not a Great One, so I think we'd have to classify it as kin.
Okay. Thank you, Sophie.
And that also makes sense because, like, it's okay at ranged stuff, but it's really bad with physical, which is how a lot of kin work.
Thank you, Sophie. And now, the last question. What is their purpose or mission? What are they protecting? Why are they attacking us?
Okay, the purpose or mission is to, what says here, crude wooden shield used by the masses who have arisen to join the hunt. That's, of course, a piece of misdirection because we now know they come from the Great Ones. It is, in fact, possible that the wood on the wooden shield comes from the great arch trees. What if the wooden shield wood, it's the pillars in the distance in the Hunter's Dream?
Wow.
They're never explained, so
We finally
obviously
explained
it's
them.
this.
Yeah.
Finally. Every hunt, Gurman has to go out there. Presumably he's riding on the moon presence. And he pulls out his scythe and he whittles a new shield. Because that's where all the weapons for the hunters were made. They were made in the workshop.
That's true.
Yeah. We're learning so much.
Was the wooden shield the original weapon that was created by Gurman?
Yes, it's made from siderite. Can I just say something about the wooden shield that I think is an oversight?
Mm-hmm.
So Bloodborne's got two shields. It's got the wooden shield and the lock shield, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wooden shield, made of wood. The lock shield is like glass, but the back is metal. The lock shield has much higher bolt defense. Surely if anything's going to be bad at, like, conducting electricity, it's wood. So yeah, so, like, maybe when Abyss's Bloodborne mod nears completion, he can redress this. Like, it makes sense for the wooden shield to be bad at fire because it's wood. It's much better at deflecting bullets than the lock shield, even though the lock shield's metal and the bullets are also metal.
Maybe it absorbs the bullets because it's like...
Alright, the bullets in Bloodborne are mixed with blood when you fire them. So presumably over time, all of the blood from the bullets is soaked into the shield, and that's what gives it its amazing powers. It's like a katana that's killed 1,000 men and is now sentient. This wooden shield that's also a table tennis racket, expelled from the body of a Great One, has absorbed so much blood over time that with one final bloom it will be a goddess.
Sophie, do the outro.
That was the Snack Covenant, episode 295. What, where, why, enemies of Bloodborne, the wooden shield. It's not an enemy? How do you know? Bloodborne is a land of mysteries.
Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you, Sin.
And thank you everyone for listening. And see y'all next time.
Thought we'd be free now that Elden Ring was out, but apparently not.